All right, guys, excuse the voice today as it is in the process of finding its way back home after being lost, but that does not stop the Nintendo Switch 2 news and information from flowing, because as we get closer to this June 5th launch date, there's a lot of new details hitting the internet about this console, specifically today, with a big hot button issue that a lot of people want to know: what is the user interface going to look like on this console from a few different perspectives. You have, of course, just the standard home screen there's confirmed to be themes again, but we don't know that Nintendo's going to do anything more than light and dark like they did with the Nintendo Switch this entire time. And you probably realize from the home screen screenshot we've seen so far that it looks almost identical, just with some different layout of the icons on the bottom row. But I mean, your games are still one row of icons, and we haven't actually seen a game selected on that home UI from the Switch 2 user interface. So there's still some unknown on that front, but we have some brand new images that actually outline the Nintendo Switch Online experience portion of the console. And I will tell you that this looks like a massive upgrade to me personally. So I want to walk through those details and also talk about really the user interface as a whole, because we do have those little snippets of live navigation from the Nintendo Switch eShop and even the developers kind of referencing how much quicker the eShop is going to be this time around, with some very, I would say, needed features for how you find games. So all good news on this front, but we are going to learn and dive into a lot of what this system is going to look like from the user experience side of things when it comes to navigating the console. So we're going to get on the same page with all of this info. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And I want to first kick this off with this new image that we had not seen previously, outlining the Nintendo Switch Online app and the user interface of it. So what you have on screen here is essentially that NSO app that we do have today on our Nintendo Switch family of systems, but you probably realize that we don't utilize, at least I don't utilize it a whole lot. I don't imagine many people utilize it a whole lot, because while it is kind of a hub for all the Nintendo Switch news and information and games library, you still have to go into the console app for any individual system to play the game. So it's not as useful as you would maybe want it to be. And hopefully that is a thing of the past now that we are seeing what it will look like from Switch 2, because you can see this kind of upgraded collection as far as how it looks. This is all from Nintendo of Japan, but you do have the following icons with the retro library of consoles. Interestingly, Sega Genesis is missing from this list, but I think that's also maybe how they have it in the current NSO app. I can't remember for sure, but you may have that buried somewhere else, and they're just kind of focusing on Nintendo's own in-house consoles with this particular section. But it does look like they are under the Famicom here, or NES here in the US region, and you have a collection of all the games that are available. And I would assume that in the Switch 2 NSO app, you should hopefully be able to select the game, get the little synopsis about it, the date it came out, and all of that, but then also just be able to boot straight to that game, maybe circumventing the app for NES from your home screen booting up to begin with. And to be fair, we actually don't know that those app icons in the way that they work today for Switch 1 is how they will work on Switch 2, because there definitely is a possibility that the NSO app is actually how they launch everything, and there is no individual system icon anymore. That is a possibility as well, but because this is the same base OS, I'm assuming it's going to be pretty similar to how it works on the current Switch. And we will probably have this as an option to get into the games, but also have individual emulator app icons as well. But just looking at various different components of the online section, you just see it's more updated. It looks more visually pleasing. Nintendo is doing circular icons this time around for a lot of their UI related stuff, like even on the home screen, which we will look at again in a moment just for a refresher. But you can see kind of like this rainbow-ish blue, pink, purple type of color going on for whenever you're highlighting something. I'm assuming that that's going to be something that's live moving, like kind of spinning in a circular icon or circular motion while you're highlighted whatever you are selecting on the screen here. And this is the last new image of the NSO app. And then again, that same kind of circular icon, and I'm assuming is just going to be kind of pulsating there or circling while you're on any given icon on screen. And you can see on this UI home screen that we do have the NSO app. That is what we were looking at previously. So far, to my knowledge, we have only seen this image of the UI with the settings wheel highlighted. So my one hope, and I don't know that this will be a thing, but I would love to see it be featured, is if when you are highlighting something like Mario Kart World, which we haven't seen done yet, maybe the entire white screen that you can see behind it would become the game art that you're about to go into. I think that that can make the home screen feel very bright and vibrant, and just kind of more dynamic than what they have it right now. Nintendo has definitely gone to this simple layout, no BS, here's your games, that's it. But I do think it's lost some of that Nintendo charm that we had from the Wii, Wii U, and the DS and 3DS systems with themes and customizations. And it would be really nice to not only see custom themes supported, but also just the ability to have the background dynamically change based off what game you are highlighting. And if you have a PS5, not sure off the top of my head if Series X does it as well. I think that, I mean, they show the game art, but on the PS5 as a great example, you can highlight a game and it plays the game's music and the entire background becomes that game's artwork. And I think this would be a really cool feature to see Nintendo Switch 2 support, but that is, you know, all speculation right now because we do not have confirmation that will be the case. And it's likely just going to be exactly what you see on screen here, hopefully with some themes coming later on, but Nintendo has not officially revealed that yet. Okay, moving on along, we do have the eShop section. This is a newer screenshot than what we have seen before from the little snippet of video that we've seen of the Nintendo Switch eShop, which we will be playing in this as well. But you just have the following outline. It is not very different from the current eShop, but what is really important is that the performance of this eShop is supposed to be significantly faster. Now, we did get the confirmation that music will not be returning for the Nintendo Switch eShop. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people wanted that, and the developers' exact answers behind why they did not include that has to do with the fact that there is a lot of videos playing. So essentially, you know, whenever you select a game, it is going to start immediately playing the trailer for that game, and they felt like music would not mesh well with that overall experience. I think you could have the music fade in and out and leave it optional in the settings menu somewhere, then you're pleasing everybody, but Nintendo's not supporting it, so unfortunately, no music in the eShop once again for this console generation. Now, the big thing about the eShop that people will be very excited and happy to know is this following statement over from the Ask the Developers interview, where you can actually see from Mr. Doda responding here, thanks to the system's performance capabilities, Nintendo Switch eShop on Switch 2 has been improved and runs smoothly, even when displaying a large number of games. We believe the act of finding the game you want to play is itself a part of the game system experience, and it definitely is. Then you have also, there's a feature on Nintendo eShop called Game Finds for You, which lets you quickly see screenshots and watch introduction videos or games. So this is a very big update to what we have right now on the current Nintendo Switch eShop, because you probably know there is a lot of shovelware, a lot of very, you know, reskin games, just things that were recently published to the eShop is kind of what is presented to you right away. And it sounds like Nintendo, fortunately, this time is going to make it more recommendation based, just like whenever you log into Netflix, you get that shows you would like, or any streaming service, any kind of, you know, streaming platform, even on the competitors' eShop pages or PSN store, Xbox store, you get like recommendations for you. Nintendo is doing that this time as well. And I do like the video focus on the eShop. I do think that everything that they've shown off so far makes it look like a vast improvement over what we have today in terms of the performance and stability, as they mentioned in their own words, which is very important because you don't want to have a bad laggy experience when you are trying to give the company that you have the system of your money and get a brand new piece of software. Like, the last thing you want to have happen is an element of a bad experience and something that's like, you know, just literally you're going down trying to scroll the page and you're actually behind what you're selected because of how much lag is on there. So very happy to see the eShop upgraded, and that's officially confirmed from the developers that it's going to run fast, and we've seen videos of it now to kind of confirm all of that and everything. And, you know, I'm just hoping that as time goes on, we do actually learn about some kind of more customization options available for the Nintendo Switch home screen, and maybe themes, even at a small fee or tied behind like the expansion pack feature, I think would be a really cool thing. $2 live dynamic themes, something like that would be really cool to be able to customize your system with. And it is possible that Nintendo already has that stuff ready to go at launch, but they have just not outlined it yet. And maybe that's the kind of information we might find out about through something like the Nintendo Today app as we get closer to the June 5th launch date. But let me know how you feel about the new UI or lack thereof, because it's very similar, obviously, to the current Switch's UI. But what do you think about the NSO app? Would you like to have it outlined where you just get into your NSO library of games straight from that application? Do you think that it should still be tied to the individual app icons like we have today on the current Switch? How are you feeling about everything you've seen so far with the home screen and the eShop? Are you sad music's not returning? Do you think there's a shot for live dynamic themes? Or do you think that that is something that we will not see this generation at all once again from Nintendo? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.